Corsetti with Atlanta Youth Lacrosse. In this video, I'm going to be showing everyone how to properly cradle with a lacrosse stick and a ball in the stick. Then I'm going to show a couple of drills to help youth players become more proficient at cradling. So let's get started. So what is cradling? Cradling is what I'm doing right now to keep the ball in my stick. It's a very simple motion using a little bit of my arms, mostly my wrists, and a little bit of my fingers to keep the ball in the crosse as I'm running up and down the field. When you're cradling, it's very important not to have a strong grip on the stick. Otherwise, you can't move this stick very easily. If I'm gripping the stick so hard that I'm about to break it, it's very difficult for me to get a nice, consistent, and calm motion with the crosse. So hold the stick like you'd hold a golf club, nice and lightly, and cradle like so. So now let's look at the basics of cradling until we can get to a nice, easy cradle like the one that I have here. Now, without a ball in your stick, let's work on hand placement first. Your bottom hand goes down at the bottom. Your top hand goes up at the top. Near the plastic or on the plastic, whichever one is comfortable for you. As you start off, you might want that hand closer to the plastic. As you get better at cradling, you can bring that hand down a little bit more each time. Now that we've got our hand positions down, we're going to learn the most basic way to cradle. I've been teaching this for a long time, and this works out very, very well for beginners learning how to cradle the ball. It looks nothing like this cradle here, which I've developed over the years, which is very comfortable to me. Everyone has their own way of cradling the ball, and you're going to develop your own one as you start playing lacrosse and as you continue. But the main thing to remember is, as we're starting off, we've got to be as technically perfect as we can be so that we can get our own cradle down the road. So let's start off with the most perfect way to go ahead and cradle the ball starting off. Without a ball in your stick and your hands nice and in the right positions, take your top arm, so in this case my right arm, and put your elbow out to the side so it makes an L with your body, or an upside down L with your body. Next, you're going to go ear to ear with the stick, always keeping the stick face, the open part of the face of the stick, facing you. And I'm just going to go ear to ear, ear to ear. And this is all I'm going to do. And this is the basic way to start cradling, again, without the ball, using mostly your arm and a little bit of your wrist and fingers. Now again, it looks nothing like this cradle here. There's a reason to that. The reason we keep our arm up like this is to keep the stick vertical, which again protects the stick, and as we use this, centrifugal force keeps the ball inside the pocket. So let's go ahead and pick up a ball now. Pop the elbow up, keeping my arm nice and straight, out to the side, my hands in the right positions, and cradle ear to ear. Now, switch to your opposite hand. Do the same thing. Ear to ear. Everything we do with one arm, or one hand, we do with the other. Now, in order to go from this to this, all you have to do is start dropping the elbow down in a nice controlled manner. So, we start up here with the basic way to cradle. All you have to do is start dropping the elbow down a little bit. And now, you're cradling the lacrosse ball in your stick, with that stick staying vertical up near your head, or near your helmet if you were wearing one, and you're ready to run up and down the field, cradling the ball. And that is how you start cradling the ball from a very basic way to a more advanced, comfortable way. Now let's look at a couple of drills that you can use to get more proficient at cradling the ball. The first drill is a very simple down and back drill. I've got two cones out behind me, and all I'm going to do is cradle, running out to the cone, circling that cone, and coming back. I'm going to cradle the first way that I showed you in each of these cradling drills, because this is the most way that most beginners are going to have to learn to start cradling. As you get better, you drop the elbow and you get that stick nice and vertical every time. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be cradling like this. So let's go ahead and look at this drill, righty and then lefty. Now, left-handed. Very simple down and back drill that all it does, you can do that with as much distance as you want or as little distance as you want, but all we want to do is make sure that the kids are keeping their elbow up and going ear to ear to be as proficient at cradling in this beginner way as possible. The next drill is keeping the elbow up and keeping the stick vertical. Remember, everything that we do with the elbow coming up to here and making that upside down L is to keep the stick vertical so the ball doesn't fall out of the stick. So this next drill incorporates a spin. Now, if I drop my elbow and let my stick come horizontal and I spin, the ball comes out of the stick. But if I keep my elbow up and I spin around, the ball stays nice and in the stick. So we incorporate a little bit of cradling. We're going to run out to the far cone, spin around twice, come back to the near cone. Here's how it looks. Now, left-handed. And that's the spin drill to keep the stick vertical and keep the ball in the crosse. Lastly is a drill just simply switching hands. What a good mentor of mine called magic hands for the little kids. So all you do here is keep that elbow up, and this is a three-part process. The bottom hand slides up to the top hand comes off and slides down to where the bottom hand was, and we go back to cradling. Again, three-part process. 1, arm slides up to the top hand. 2, top hand comes off. 3, top hand replaces where the bottom hand was, and we're back to cradling. And you can do this watching TV with a tennis ball on your stick, and all you do is switch hands and keeping that elbow up. And eventually, you can drop that elbow, and it's just a nice, easy switching hands, and you're getting used to having that ball in your crosse and cradling as you go. So just do this while watching some TV, or when you got a spare moment, a couple 5 minutes, cradle with the ball in your stick and get more comfortable with the ball in your stick, so when you hit the field, you don't even think about cradling.